But the storyline is absolutely hilarious. The voice acting is magnificent. And just that moment at the end is worthy of the end of any movie or any TV show or anything like that, where you're emotionally invested. This starts, and it's sweet and funny. The song as it plays, it's a little, I think like Jonathan Coulton plays it on banjo. And it's just a lovely song. It's that kind of thing you can put the controller down, watch the credits roll, and be like, do you know what? That was absolutely fantastic.
It did put the most perfect cherry on the top of that end of that game. It really did. It really just, and a bit of closure as well. Jesus Christ, yeah. I still love that game so much, and that's the. I like you said, if you finish that, you still are going to. If you finish that game all the time, you're a big fan. You're still going to listen to that song every time.
And there's, I mean, like as much as we are recording about video games, there's a whole kind of nerdcore music movement. So Jonathan Coulton, MC Frontalot, MC Lars, all these guys are singing about old games. They're singing about Legends of Zork, like Nintendo. They're singing about the Mario Underground levels. They're doing all this stuff. To be able to grab one of the guys and say, do you know what? Just do a song for us. Do the actual song. Just complete the Venn diagram. It's a nice moment.
It was, yeah. Did you play Portal?
Played the first one.
Yeah.
A little bit, and then I got really confused.
Play the second one, and the music in that when the turrets are on screen is fucking crazy.
I don't have the patience for video games anymore. Not really.
You don't really is the time. Maybe you do.
To be honest with you, there's like two types of games I play, and still to this day will play, and it's real-time strategy games and just stupid shooting games.
Yeah.
Just
Titanfall's not stupid.
It is stupid as fuck. It's amazing.
Oh, Titanfall's amazing. It is stupid as fuck. It's like
maybe
unreal. Unreal. I'm in a big robot.
Yeah.
I get to shoot in a big robot, and then someone annoys me. I get out of it, shoot them in the head up close. One big robot shooting them.
It is one of the most
unreal.
underrated. It's such a satisfying game.
It's just perfect.
I thought you would have picked the song off that, but it's not
I
really.
tried to.
Did you?
Do you know why you can't do it?
Why?
Because apparently for Titanfall 2, the way they worked it was there's going to be like 60 hours of gameplay or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was set up that you never heard the same piece of music twice.
That's right, I've heard that.
There was 60 hours of music composed.
Wow.
For Titanfall 2.
Yep.
Now, let's be fair. Most of it
it was probably made with algorithms.
Probably.
Hooked it up to the chorus.
There's no bits in it. Doesn't mean there's a couple of, again, chase scene shit, you know. Oh, shit. And you leg it. That's it, you know what I mean? A big giant robot appears, someone shouts at you, and the music gets a bit tense for fucking 4 minutes. But yeah, it was. They designed everything to be. You would never hear the same piece of music twice.
Yeah. Did you want to?
No.
It's weird when we don't have that kind of. I see in his eye when I know he's done talking. He's like, and I realise we weren't on his song. Having a new person, and this is all. We're breaking the wall. What now that we talked about what isn't your one, what is your one?
Well, the one that is not my one. What I picked next is Command & Conquer Red Alert, and the song is Hell March.
Ah, yes, it's a banger. This is off my sex playlist. It's great.
This is for me. This is top of the fucking hill. This is the first piece of music from a video game that made me think that it didn't have to be blips and bloops and fucking kind of synths.
There's a riff in there, isn't there?
It's riffy as fuck, lad. Now, apparently, the guy who wrote it is a guy called Frank Kopacki. And Frank Kopacki's super fucking famous in the video game music world. He joined Westwood, the developers. He joined them when he was 17 as a musician.
Good man.
And he's been in a bajillion bands. To be honest with you, but the looks and sound of them, they're all shite. But,
right.
You know,
but this is
what the fuck.
Maybe he works better alone.
It looks like it. He's heavily influenced by like 9 Inch Nails and stuff like that.
You can tell.
But Hell March, Jesus. Again, that was one of those things where you could, I think they done a special edition of, it might have been Red Alert 2, because they've done like 3 versions of Hell March. It could have been Red Alert 2 that came with like this bonus disc, and it was a DVD.
Yep.
Actually, it wasn't even a DVD, that didn't exist. It would have been like MPEGs or something that you played, and like a multimedia disc. And they had the making of the soundtrack, and they were in the studio with him on Frank Kopacki, and showing him, they had footage of him originally recording Hell March, and how he was putting it together, and where he was getting like all the wartime samples from World War II and working them into it, because it has this real industrial kind of driven feel. But the first time I heard that, forget it. Just fucking forget it, lads. Because the rest of the Command & Conquer music is the same nonsense. Stompy kind of guitar-y, but low-key kind of stuff. Then when that fucking Hell March kicks in, and you hear that fucking, you're like fucking 13, the dick comes out, you know. You only need a mouse. It's grand.
I'm convinced I remember Command & Conquer 2 like looking better than it is because of that song. If I hear the song, I'm remembering it going, that game was magnificent. If I look at it now, I'm like, there's like 8 pixels on that dude. What the fuck is this?
Red Alert 2 was quite possibly my top 3 video games of all time.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it's perfect. It came out at the exact right time where there was halfway decent modems, like 33 fucking baud modems, so you could actually play against people around the world. Like I remember being whatever age I was, 16, 17 when Red Alert 2 came out, and I had a map of the world pinned onto the wall beside the computer, and I had little thumbs, and every time I beat somebody in a country, I'd have thumbs. I'd
great.
stick a attack into it. Like I was fucking obsessed with Red Alert. Now they lost me after 3. I played a little bit of Tiberian Wars or something. Once Westwood were gone, it lost all their wiggle. Like Westwood done the ultimate fuck you once EA bought them. They re-released or they gave away Red Alert, Dune, Tiberian Sun, Red Alert 2, Command & Conquer. They gave away all of their IP for free online.
Is that why you can play it online now for free? Yeah,
they fucked EA up the hole. Like they proper done them. Like the day they were signing that contract, they signed everything over. Like an hour before they signed, they ISO'd every single like CD-ROM they had of games and lashed them onto a fucking server and popped it up on their website.
And then signed the thing.
Then signed it.
They're not getting in trouble over
it. Who cares? I think we're just enveloped in. To be honest with you, EA just wanted the IP and not the crew. Like everybody else was gone. So they just legged it. And also what they done is when they put it up online, they allowed everybody to download and mirror them. So even if EA did take them down, they were out in the world now already. So that's why you can go to it's raonline.net, raonline.net, and you can play Red Alert in your browser. Right now. You don't have to install. And you can play online against people.
No clothes on.
In the full nip.
You can finish your map of the world.
I could,
covered in Frank's hot sauce, just playing in the nip.
Fucking Yugoslavia doesn't even exist anymore, lads. There's new countries to beat now, like full new countries and countries that change size, everything. But yeah, that's Hell March is outrageous. And speaking of Rutger Hauer,
sorry about that earlier.
It's grand. Frank Capacchi, he wrote music for what did he do? Dune 2, The Lion King on the Super Nintendo, and Blade Runner, the video game.
Right.
Who I think Rutger done some voice acting for
that would
as
have
well.
been a way better segue.
Yeah, and he done some Dungeons and Dragons stuff. He also has a load of music on UFC. Wrote a lot of music for UFC pay-per-views and the Ultimate
I thought you meant the game.
No, like the actual show. He's done stuff for MTV, for some of their commercials. He's just one of these kind of prolific kind of dudes. But he runs his own website where I think he does little videos every day about what he's working on
some of them.
Stuff like that. It's interesting.
What age is he now?
Who knows? I'd say he's in his 50 now, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just loads of these mad dodgy 90s pictures, photos of him. If you go looking for photos of him, and they're all these like kind of shitty proto solar flares on his face, like lens flares, and they've like photoshopped big cool like luminous green sunglasses on him, and he's got like bleach blonde spiky hair and all. Absolute like goon looking.
But also sort of what I would imagine maybe.
Well, he makes music for a fucking video game company, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So
speaking of that kind of 90s thing, I used to work with a guy who worked on Killer Instinct game, and that's
got an infamous soundtrack as well.
Yeah, but he was saying like I used to be able to beat like everything, just do like I was the best player in the world, and I was like, oh man, that's crazy. He goes, there's a video on YouTube, and I pulled it up, and it was at some like E3 conference where like they were showing off this new game, and like fog machines, this fucking arcade cabinet comes up out of the ground and girls come in dancing in leather bomber jackets with Killer Instinct written in the back, and then this lad walks out and
like,
I was looking at him in real life going, you fucking tool, look at you. And he's like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, but he's this British nerdy looking lad. He's not like fucking Tom Cruise walking out in the fucking Maverick kind of style. He just walks out, does it, completes the game and walks away again, and the girls dance him off. And I'm just looking at him going, the 90s was a weird time, man. It was a weird fucking time.
Oh god.
Oh, fuck. Right, who's next?
Yeah, that's me again, is it?
Bang, bang, bang.
No, it's me.
No, go for it.
Yeah. I picked Venice Rooftops from Assassin's Creed 2
very nice.
by Jesper Kyd. Jesper Kyd's got to be one of my favourites, if not my favourite composer. He's like... Now he's kind of like... Loads of people are doing video game music now. Probably as good as him, but for a while when it was just Hitman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the early Assassin's Creed, he was doing movie quality. I mean, actual movie quality. Like, it wasn't just, that's good for a game. This was good for everything. I think he's Danish. He's Danish, lad. Looks a bit like he could have been Danny Elfman.
Really?
Back in the past. He has that red hair and that sitting alone in the studio kind of heading him. But Jesus Christ, I remember the first time it was really Hitman. Then I went Freedom Fighters, which was one of my favourites. Still one of my favourite soundtracks. Didn't pick it this time though. So I always say that. My favourite, and then I go, didn't pick it. No, I didn't want it.
Why pick a new favourite every fucking week?
I know, that's exactly it. But no, there's also the Las Vegas theme from Hitman, another one of the Hitman games. And but this one, there's something about this one. This could fit onto any movie soundtrack. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And
I do not know this piece of music because I fucking hate Assassin's Creed games.
You don't have to play the game.
But you have to listen to it, I do. Now I don't, thanks to
No, you
this
don't.
podcast.
Yeah.
Just play it in tourist mode. Just be like walking around, climbing up on things.
There's a tourist mode?
In the latest version, there is a tourist
Just
mode.
wander and not play.
It's a cheap version of the game. Like you don't pay the full price. You pay like 20 quid.
Really? Just
and
wander?
It's basically it's because it's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They're like, hey, maybe this is educational. Maybe people want to see ancient Greece and ancient Rome and stuff like that.
Did they use scans? They're using Assassin's Creed scans to help rebuild Notre Dame.
That's right.
Yeah.
Somebody spent 6 months taking notes of every single piece of Notre Dame. They had all the original blueprints. They built this perfect 3D model and it needs to be perfect because you can climb up fucking anything, so you can see any part of it. So they donated it back to them and said, by the way, here is all of our research on it.
Yeah.
So it's good for something.
There you go.
It's just fucking just climbing stuff.
I didn't like Assassin's Creed 1 because it's the same game repeated 3 times.
That's what bothered the shit out of me.
And it was really irritating that they did that. But then 2 is genuinely an incredible game.
Is it? Because I played the first one and I just followed people and listened to them.
It was boring. I didn't like the first one.
Just jumped off something.
Speaking of boring ones, there's one called Black Flag where you're a pirate, and you're a pirate for a good chunk of the game, and then suddenly you're a Google employee. Suddenly you work in a building, and you're just following people around and clicking the elevator, getting cups of coffee, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was a pirate 5 minutes ago.
Really? I did. They gave that away free on like Xbox Live.
Black Flag and Assassin's Creed 2 are my favourites. I think they're the 2 best ones.
I'm a big Black Flag fan right here.
Yeah.
That's why I got it. No Henry Rollins. Don't get to play Henry at all. It's bullshit.
I tried to make a joke about hardcore and I think before and you just ignored it, so I'm going to ignore that.
Grant.
There you go.
No, fuck all you. He did one of the last thing he did was the music for Vermintide, I think.
Really?
I think he won an award for that as well.
Vermintide music actually is pretty good.
The Warhammer thingy.
That game is weird as fuck. I
I thought you didn't think you played it.
I played it, yeah.
Is it good?
It's beautifully stylized.
It's zero crack unless you're playing with your mates.
Right.
So some lad runs out with a hammer, sits hitting the wall, and you can't go anywhere.
I'm almost positive that's the one he did the music for. Yeah, Vermintide, and I think he won an award for it as well.
Yeah. Two just came out there a while ago as well.
Yeah, he is phenomenal. He is absolutely phenomenal. I follow him on Facebook now, and he's just winning awards left, right, and centre. Me and him are best friends. We're going skiing in Iraq.
In Iraq?
Oh yeah,
you can ski in Iraq. A lot of people don't know that.
Between Iraq and a hard place, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dirty.
You see, I'm not allowed to make puns, so you walk away. I remember after last week, I had to take a week off.
I get one for free, do I?
Yeah, absolutely. Johnny, you're up next.
My next song is Sacrificial from the Binding of Isaac. And the reason I picked this is because I wanted to have one song from like a wee indie game.
Yeah.
And there was loads to choose from. There's beautiful songs in Journey, if you've ever played that.
Absolutely.
On the PlayStation. There's an indie game called Machinarium, which is just start to finish this beautiful chill out music. You can the point is with this stuff. There's a chiptunes one called VVVVVV, and the soundtrack's called PPPPPP. Pretty good. And Bastion and Firewatch, all these things. I don't listen to albums anymore.
This is made by the guy who made the game.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't think so. For Sacrificial,
this is fantastic, by the way. This piece of music,
and it's a little bit bleepy bloopy. It's a little bit horror. But it's the one that I thought was just the best example of a song you can sit and listen to. But I'm saying I don't listen to albums. If an album comes out, it's very rare I'll sit down and just listen to it all the way through.
Yeah.
But little indie games like this, I'm playing them like they're albums. I'm playing start to finish, and they're maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So you just get the music over the course of like a long play album.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm experiencing albums for now. Like the Bastion soundtrack is this beautiful one where it's kind of futuristic, but the guy wanted it to sound like frontier music, so he was listening to lots of old kind of fife and drum and like nylon string guitar and all this kind of stuff. And he had bits where if certain characters are on screen, there'll be a male voice singing. If certain characters are on screen, there'll be a female voice. And then at the end, when the characters come together, they do a call and response thing. And that's fantastic because you can do that in video games.
Yeah.
You can have stuff that it reacts to what you're doing. And then but then you go back and listen to it and it's like, here's the male half, here's the female half, here's the song when they all come together. And it is just an excuse for me to talk about how indie games to me are just where I'm getting my albums from now on.
Yeah, I never thought about that. If someone asked me what album do you think you've listened to the most, it's probably not a album. It's probably a video game, some sort of video game.
With the amount of hours you put into
Yeah, exactly.